Previously on Saving Throw. After fighting their way through the green guards of Stay, our adventurers finally stood face to face with the world druid, Arelaa, and found her to be different.
What's it look like?
Overgrown and twisted by some mix of magic, trees, roots, of crystals, and whatever was once a regular person's body. You see whatever this is.
Alistair, you're on?
The heroes tried to convince Arelaa to stop before her dream endangered more people, but she refused to listen.
This is my dream. This is my dream, and I'm still the one who shapes it.
Would you still like your dream if you knew it was a nightmare for everyone else?
Give me a persuasion check.
Come on, baby!
Let's go!
Losing control of the conversation, Arelaa imprisoned our party beneath the High Manor, where they met up with another prisoner of Arlea's dream.
Hi, Goose.
Hey! You were a turtle before, you're a snake now. That's wacky.
Goose Everfriend is
Just
great.
another Tuesday with these crew.
Working with Goose Everson, our party found the only way out of the prison was to climb. And climbing up, they found themselves outside of their cells, but now inside of Arelaa's memories.
Above you, towering hundreds upon hundreds of meters overhead, seemingly as tall as the mountains it stood beside, that is the Sky Eater. She who broke the sky. Or more precisely, that is her defeated. And while everyone else's eyes are looking up at what is, literally a once in a infinite time sight, Arelaa is looking down and sobbing.
Now we rejoin our heroes as they find themselves trapped inside the mind of the World Druid.
Folks, hello, and welcome back to Saving Throw, our Actual Play D&D podcast right here on Save Data. I'm Chris, I'll be a Dungeon Master, and I will fight Matt Mercer on that bridge. I'm joined by our lovely party, Zach playing Alistair Noble Drifter, our half-elf bard.
Damn me.
Elise as Win the Turtle Druid, hashtag stay winning.
Stay winning.
Prij playing the role of Ashbaugh Ramnarance, Owlin Clockwork Sorcerer. I also have an owl on my shirt that wasn't planned.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Hey.
David as
go along. Take these notes.
Ooh. David as Jumver Many Shields. I'm out of shtick for this part, so I'm just gonna say Dwarven Rune Knight because I don't want people to get confused that Jumver's actually a giant.
I have a different notebook, Prij. Corn, it has the juice.
Wow.
And we have Jason playing Iron Hemlock. I can't. What do you want me to do? More corn shtick with you? You have a problem.
Corn.
And we have Jason playing Tyrant Hemlock, our Doctor Monk. Not to be confused with my roommate of monks, where Tony Shalhoub is a doctor.
I've got a folder for, I don't fucking know, man. Just like, what are these bits, dude? Too much to handle.
If you like this show and this intro, you can catch it live on our Twitch channel, twitch.tv/SaveDataTeam. And if you don't like the show, could you try, please?
Could you try?
You can catch the edited version of this podcast on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/SaveDataTeam. And Saving Throw is available on all podcast platforms. And if you're kind enough to leave us a review on one of those, you can get a shout out and have it read live. This is normally the part where I do that and read one of those live. However, we have a special submission this time.
Oh.
So instead of reading something, I'm going to play something, and I hope this works for stream.
Oh, what?
Is that playing?
I do know about that.
Yeah.
Leave a 5-star rating now, you punk-ass bitch.
Bangs!
That's really good. Carl, you're an absolute hero.
Carl, I fucking love you.
Huge
And
shout
I
out
also
to
love the
Carl.
band you based that on, so that was a good choice.
Because I sing that while editing Saving Throw. It's not even a joke. Well, because I started editing Saving Throw right around the time that the fucking Even Flow meme kicked off, so it just kind of happened. And while we're doing non-traditional review reading, I just want to say thank you to all y'all. All the people that watch live, those of you that watch the VODs, watch the edited version on YouTube, or listen to the show as a podcast, whatever. We're not like the biggest platform or biggest podcast ever, and we are aware of that. But the fact that like 400 to 500 people tune into any given episode of Saving Throw at a time is like genuinely heartwarming, and in general, it's just cool. So thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And finally, if you want to go the absolute extra mile, you can support us on Patreon at patreon.com/SaveDataTeam. For $2 a month, you get access to the VOD channel where you can watch all the streams unedited forever in case Twitch takes them away, which they do eventually. $5 a month, you get to vote on what we do for our variety streams, and you get to appear in Saving Throw as an NPC. We're definitely meeting some of those today. And lastly, the $10 a month tier, you get your name included in this Patreon song.
Thank 'em, gotta thank 'em all. Gotta thank 'em all, our Patreons! Burger Bun, Fluff Guff, Mr. Colophilo, Cull, Dave Hall, Lucha, and Sofino. HSM, Ernless, Crow Knight, Danny, Antilester, Kevin Nation, Shadowed, Navi. Witch Tower, Sky Hurler, Kai, Tacos, and Sayaki, Forensic, Beck, Nicole, JFJ, Mystic, Woody. Leprechaun, Jacob L, Go, Zeppeli, Sheber, Steam, Ryger, Rilla, Jolie, Baron Esper, BBC, What, and Sherlock's Zoom, Sillart, Ami, Borshock, Shrimari, A1, Narwhal, Shiny, Caterpie, Diego Garcia, Nice Boomer, Emily, Dessert Boy Man, Elijah Sly, Rick Rat, Katja, Traveling in a Box, and Snowcat, Conjuring Scribes, Yo Croissant, Fulfilla, Written Word, Shade the Punisher, Sabilla, Mega Zero, Big Kerbo, who needs to sleep, Leia Yakta, Escracia, Mary Jumpy. Thank 'em, gotta thank 'em all. Gotta thank 'em all, our Patreons.
And one more thank you to the people that make this show happen, including our lovely patrons, who Zach definitely did just dunk on the part that got cut from the YouTube video. Will and Karen from Submix for the Saving Throw logos, Nez for the character art for our whole party, CZE Peku for our battle maps, and Bardify and Epidemic Sound for our music, which you're currently hearing. And thank you for being the best and strongest. Now it's time for us to talk about Dungeons & Dragons, and it's time for us to talk about some stuff. In general, I don't want to spend a super long time on like lore and backstory, because that's not the story we're telling here. We're telling y'all's story, not other characters. However, this episode is somewhat of an exception. Because right now, for where we are, I think it's worth laying out the one big story so we don't have to do it again later. Let's talk about killing God. More particularly,
That's a banger opening.
Of course you go to France after killing God. What else is the logical progression after that, Zach? In general, barring more details and like personal accounts, here is the gist of the story. And I'm going to talk a little bit here, so stop me if anything's confusing or doesn't make any sense. So, a couple hundred years ago, the cult of the Broken Sky began to gather substantial power. I know we're all familiar with the modern connotation of cult, but this is the cult much more in like the classically religious sense. They weren't assumed to be an evil organization just because they were a cult. They were a group that worshipped a particular god, and that wasn't particularly uncommon at the time. Think of like Greek cults, for example. But as the cult grew in size and more powerful people joined the ranks, eventually their true purpose, so to speak, took form. And in a cult gathering on the shores of Shandia, their mission came to light, to fruition. A few thousand people gathered for the ritual, a few hundred died in the process, but they called their god to our sky from across the cosmos. They basically called out and she heard them. And then it began. She who broke the sky began doing exactly what her name would imply. She devoured stars out of the sky, she sank the sun beneath an endless sea of black, and when she ran out of stars to gorge herself on, she began to settle for a much lighter snack, that being people. She wrecked towns, released her spawn onto the lands, basically monster children made from pieces of herself, and quickly, much quicker than we would expect or hope, civilization was on its back heels, in the shitter. I mentioned this before, but to really like hammer it back, by the end of her reign over the sky, we were a world with a population in the 5-digit range, down from like, I don't know, what is our world, the 9-digit range? Countless places.
Our real world 10 digits, but yeah.
10, there you go. Our countless places were just wiped off the map. History basically just lost, with the only safe bastion being like a few cities that remained, with people cowering basically in the light of crystals, just like the hearth. This is the part Mare reminded you of back at the very onset of our story. And out of the cities, out of hiding basically, 32 people stepped up. Some together, some alone, but they all began to fight because there was nothing else to do. And eventually, these 32, or at least the ones still standing, made their way to the city of Kinmar, where the twin hearth stood. We mentioned before there used to be 2 hearths. We have the one in Rotmar, and the other was in a city called Kinmar, which no longer exists.
Oh, shit.
So we had 2 basically spires of energy that fed the world with magic, and those were largely considered to be the 2 safest bastions of civilization left, which is why the heroes chose Kinmar to meet in, as it was more central and it was just one better place to amass forces one last time, to lay out everything they learned, everything they could do, and make one concerted effort to bring down the Sky Eater. However, one thing that they didn't account on was while they amassed their forces, the Sky Eater chose then to attack the city of Kinmar. And, I mean, history and factuality both go, the battle destroyed the city. Some people managed to escape, but many, many more died as the city was basically reduced to rubble. But our titular heroes stood and fought. And while we hit and struck against the Sky Eater, one by one we began to lose people. And what started as 32 became 25, became 20, became less and less and less. And in a moment of desperation against advice and urging of some of the members of the party, TL of Kinmar and Kassira the Witch cast a spell and shot an arrow. And that arrow cracked through the hearth, shattering it, and with it sending one burst of magic through the sky and piercing the Sky Eater. And with that, more and more magic released into the air than ever, Ravioma, Salor, and Kassira were able to cast a spell that sent the Sky Eater to another realm, as close to death as a god can be. And our world was at least safer. That's the story we're told. And at the end of it all, 11 heroes remained alive and returned to Rotmar to found the Empire, the Guild, the College of Magic, the Academy you all went to, and basically make the world the way it is today. But you're not stood in the world as you know it today. You're stood here in the wreckage and ruins of Kinmar. That magic arrow still illuminating the sky as it pierces through the Sky Eater above your heads, with that spell to banish her still being cast. And we talk so much about the 11 that made it out, we don't often mention what's before you, which is death and destruction. A whole city reduced to crumbling buildings with a scar cut across the city, a pure line stretching like a mile wide where everything was swallowed in the blast of the hearth being shattered.
Can I ask a question before we continue?
Totally, yeah.
Like how many, 11 heroes survived? How many were we talking before the dying part?
So 32 of them made it as far as Kinmar.
Okay.
So when the battle started with the Sky Eater, there was 32 of them left. It's a thing of like that. They don't really have a number of how many people tried besides that because they didn't make it to the big meeting of all the heroes. So you could say there's 1,000 people that tried, but none of them made it that far.
Okay, so 32 got to Kinmar, and 2/3 of them basically died during the battle.
21 died in the fighting. Yeah.
Okay. One other question. About how long did it take from the Sky Eater showing up in our world to them being banished again? How long did it take for them to just essentially completely destroy everything?
Roughly 80-ish years.
Oh, dang.
Oh, okay. Psh, that's fine.
I was thinking this is like a couple months.
Yeah.
No. So it was a substantial amount of time spent basically fighting. But as and this is worth note, as like the fighting progressed, the Sky Eater, while eating shit, just kept getting stronger.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
While eating the sky.
Yeah.
And from here you can see, and even here you can see, while there are people dotted along like rooftops and hiding beneath the remaining structures, much more than signs of life in the flooded streets and of the city, there are, the most polite word to use is corpses. even the heroes, they're not all stood here. It's not like a triumphant force of 11 people standing on the hilltop all posing and looking out on their accomplishments. I actually would like to shout out the person who noted this in the last comments of the video that said, hey, wait the fuck, where's the rest of them? They're not even all here. Only 7 of them are even here around you, and half of them look like shit. And even in their greatest moment of triumph, Arelaa isn't even watching. She's crying.
Mm-hmm.
But I've talked for a while now. That doesn't really do anything but give context for where you are. You are here now, and that's the most important part. So let's pick up right here with Arelaa crying and a cat meowing. Arelaa is holding something, and from what you can tell, it's just like a piece of cloth, like burgundy-ish cloth, tattered and with strands hanging from it. And she clutches it to her chest like she's holding on for dear life. And you are here, so I open the floor to you 5 plus Goose. Now what?
Can we see what she's holding exactly?
So it's like a red piece of cloth. It's just cloth. Like, it's not like there's nothing unique about it. It looks like it could have been like a shirt or a cape or anything.
Is there someone here with the same like colored cape or clothing of any kind?
So most of the heroes actually do in fact wear red, but this is not the same as anyone else standing around you.
Right.
What are they currently doing? Just like staring?
Everyone besides Arelaa they're not frozen in time, but they're moving like at like 0.1 speed, and they're all looking up at the sky. Everything is effectively frozen in time here.
You said Kade has his other axe, because I have his other one. He has both, though?
Yeah, Cade has both of his axes.
Cade, sorry,
just a quick recap for who's here. Yeah, Cade is here. You can recognize him by his axes, which Chiron has one of. Marin, who looks younger. TL of Kinmar, who's the one that shot that arrow I just talked about. Arelaa, kneeling and crying. Hepturn Keltier, who is a vampire lord. They're like standing behind everyone. And then Raviom Salor, who is one of the wizards basically casting the spell that is sucking the Sky Eater away.
Pressing XXX and YY.
That good suck.
Mm-hmm.
Is the cloth that Arelaa is holding like naturally burgundy, or like blood has stained it red?
Natural. That's the color of the
shit. That was not what I was expecting.
That wasn't what I was expecting either.
And I guess just for other painting me a picture with words, how is the not there crystal anymore? Like, is fucking magic just like frozen in the air with this giant explosion that happened?
So there are still chunks of it floating in the air. Basically, like when it shattered, those were pieces that were strong enough to basically be their own little crystals. In the actual air, normally you'd have to cast this thing called Detect Magic to see magic. There is so much fucking magic in the air from where it was shot that it is just everywhere. And Raviom is like pulling that magic in to feed his spell, basically.
Cool. Is the terrain itself, is it also frozen like the heroes are around them?
Yeah, so like the grass, there's like running water, because it's a port city, Kinmar, but it's now like just kind of like a wrecked, flooded shithole.
So if I like kick the water a little bit, it like, does it like splash, or is it like
it'll react to you kicking it. Like you'll kick it and it'll start to move, but then once you leave contact with it, it just kind of like freezes in the air.
Okay.
I love that. Could I try casting a spell?
Sure.
I want to see, get some information here. And speaking of getting information, I want to try casting Druidcraft to predict the weather. So normally what that would look like is, and you can say how much of this happens, is like a little bubble of, kind of mystical energy, kind of look like water, with some sort of divination, like a fire or a gust of wind, a tumbleweed, whatever, something that would indicate what the weather looks like for the next, I think it's 24 hours is the spell.
Okay. So what level spell is that?
It's a cantrip.
Oh, great. So you cast your Druidcraft to detect the weather. And the weather denotes clear skies and no chance of rain, and it's just like it's going to be a nice, placid day. Above you, that is inaccurate to what you are seeing here today. Above you is clouds and so. Worth note that during the Sky Eater's whole thing, it was dark. It was nighttime basically all the time because she blocked out the sun, including with clouds. And right now, it's still very much like that, as far as you can tell.
It's cloudy with a chance of dead god.
Give me a nature check, Win.
A nature check. Absolutely.
I'm choosing this as kind of like a memory thing, but I'm going with nature because it's a natural thing you're going to remember.
Turns out, I am very good at nature.
I would
hope so. Yeah. It would be wild if.
I thought would it be a wild shape if you didn't?
Actually, I'm not as good as nature as I am at some things, but that is a 17.
Good.
I'm choosing to believe rather than a Doppler radar forecast, you get a druidic sense for the weather. Something that you might naturally have also as a sailor. The weather that is you're detecting, that you're sensing, is not the weather here. It's actually very similar to the weather back in Stay.
Oh, like real Stay.
Real Stay.
Real Stay.
Interesting.
Good to know.
And just to clarify, so yeah, everything is frozen in time except Arelaa, who is
Arelaa is
weeping.
Moving at normal speed, but she is crying on the cold
So
hard
basically,
ground.
this is just like a frozen in time field that looks like dog shit. Except the only thing we can hear is this woman on the ground crying.
Yeah, it's more like you're
Oh,
on.
God, that's awful.
Overlooking the wreckage of the city, but yeah,
It's like the witch in Left 4 Dead. You just hear her crying in the distance, like, oh, what? Where is she?
Jason,
and to be clear, the spell effect is not moving in slow motion, right?
No, your spell. Everything you guys seem to do is normal.
Good. Yes.
Well,
we want to walk up to Arelaa?
yeah, I was just saying, it feels like the only move we have.
Yep. It's time to talk to Arelaa.
I will say, while this is happening, just as some flavor text, Alistair is definitely getting a mental note of each of these people, because these are people who most of them are no longer around, but are great heroes, and that's pretty fucking cool to him.
It's pretty cool.
I didn't want to read this unless it was mentioned, but does Alistair note that, hey, this is not everyone?
He would, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Shit. Nice Veza we're having here, I guess.
Wait, Hellstar, are you still polymorphed as Goose Everson from last time?
No.
Or no? Okay.
That was long since.
Oh, that was before
We did the jailbreak.
That's
We
before
went to
Sharp
jail.
went
Yeah.
fast
That's right.
and
That's
jail.
right.
You're speaking to Arelaa?
Yeah.
Doesn't react even a tiny bit to you speaking.
Okay.
I'll walk up behind Alistair here, and can I try to reach out to her? Touch her?
Yes. So you extend your hand to nudge her or hey Arelaa. Hand goes right through her.
And goes, that's kind of what I was expecting.
On seeing that, if they do that, if I go for Cade,
Cade?
Cade,
Cade? Yeah.
If I try to mess with his cloak, but just see if he's real as well, tangible or whatnot. Is he real or? Oh, that car.
Sorry for that. That was a horn right outside my window for
Not the
some
cars.
fucking reason.
You touch Cade and an alarm goes off.
I thought that was Chris doing that. Something happened.
That was your alarm. You're now waking up from the dream.
No, it scared the shit out of me.
You're late
It's
for
so
school.
loud.
We gotta go.
You're late for the end of school.
Chiron asked before that edit. Is Cade corporeal
Is
as well?
Cade corporeal, real, tangible, tactile?
Looking at him, yes, but as you move a hand,
yeah, move his cloak or something like that.
Straight through ghostcraft shit.
Well, hey, I got a lot of spell slots left. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic. Wait, no, I don't have that one.
Oh, you don't?
I have
Also,
dispel.
Chris did say earlier that literally everything's magic.
You can detect everything as magic.
Yeah.
I will be fair to you guys because it's been a month and like a week since we recorded this last. When you cast detect magic the last time, which was in the cells, fucking everything is magic.
Yeah.
It was like coded. It's like a layer of it basically.
Well, hey, I'll cast dispel magic. I don't know. See what happens. If this is if we're trapped in some big illusion, then I'd love to not be.
Yeah. So how does dispel magic work with things that are a higher spell level than you?
And you need to make a roll.
For the folks at home.
It is for each spell of 4th level or higher, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level. On a successful check, the spell ends.
So for any spell above 4th level, you have to roll a die to succeed.
Yes.
So if it's like 5th level, it would be at DC 12, right?
No,
It's 15. It's
It'll be
10.
15.
Okay.
10 plus the level. Yeah.
So
If it's above
roll-
4,
Not just 10 plus the difference.
then I have to.
roll a d20.
That's that. No, I got like a 13, which is not gonna.
No.
I would get
I mean,
it instantly if it was.
Yeah, exactly. No, so you try to dispel magic, and you basically put your guitar out, and you strum a disruptive note, and it strums, but like as the noise starts, it's like something is actively stopping it, and like there's just silence coming from your guitar where there should normally be sound.
Like
Roll
a,
two d20s for me.
2 d20s.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yes.
It's a 15 and a 7.
Keep your spell slot.
Nice.
Thank God.
Okay.
So Goose is like waving his hand through people repeatedly.
Oh shit, Goose! I forgot you were here.
Hey man, it's me. Hi, I'm Goose Everson. I'm involved in this story.
Hi, Goose Everson.
What do we? Did we win?
Well, if Arle is to be believed, then no. But as far as we've been told, this was a victory. Some 200 years ago.
It would appear we are once again in some sort of memory space, and we appear to be witnessing the single most important event in recorded history.
The hole that we climbed up closed up.
So it wasn't like a hole. It was
It was.
you were in one second you were climbing up, and the next second you were like getting to your feet,
But
out of the grass, basically.
it looks just normal, is what where we.
Yeah,
came
yeah.
from.
It's just ground beneath your feet.
Yeah. Okay.
Goose, did Arle tell you much about her involvement in the fight against the Sky Eater?
She didn't like talking about it much. I asked Woody, on occasion, and he said, well, basically the same, that Arle didn't like mention it too much. I know that, I know she lost someone in the fighting.
I mean,
Did that someone happen to have a burgundy piece of fabric that you might know about? Or...
I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're all wearing red capes and shit.
There's no like other body or anything around, right?
No.
No.
Goose, when you were around when Arle died, right?
Yeah, I was at her funeral. I mean, I helped carry her body to the crypt, the coffin thingy.
Did she ask to be buried with anything?
She has to be buried in that there coffin that we had her in, but that was about it.
She wasn't asked to be buried with like some crystal or something like that?
No, nothing like that.
We already talked about that.
Yeah, you already asked him that, but yeah.
Oh,
Yes, I was
That's
going
fine.
for like memento of someone who was lost rather than like the crystal
Yeah.
thing.
No, nothing like that.
Also, not to be the resident history nerd, but there should be 4 more people here.
Yeah, give me a history check. You don't have to
You
get
don't-
high on this one.
If you don't get them, I'm giving you a wedgie.
History
Nerd.
5, that's a 12. It's not that good.
Yeah,
That's swirly level right there.
luckily for you, you're getting a swirly. But luckily for you, it's it's worth noting. 4 heroes are missing, but 2 of them, for a certifiable fact, had to make it out of alive because of their importance in other historical events after this.
Yeah.
The missing roster here is Emil Dull, that's name credit Naro Kyangi. Les Carverstone, name credit Les. And the other 2 notable ones are Talor Ront, who is the first emperor of the empire and who Rontmar is named after, whose family Rontmar is named after, and Kassira. Kassira at the time would have been known as Kassira the Witch, but more modernly, and how you all know her, would be Headmistress Kassira. She's the founder and head of the Adventurers Academy, and to even this day, is the one that oversees the training of new heroes and adventurers. And we haven't actually talked about this prior, but it was her final decision that you all did in fact pass and were permitted to graduate.
Well, thank you.
Thanks.
Kassira.
She set us up to fail, obviously. There's a
Of
ploy.
course.
Kassira's still alive then. Okay. So
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She
died. She just
She just passed
passed
away.
us. She said, "You guys graduate."
She passed us and passed on.
So the only
got
one
the movie disease.
the only one that could possibly be dead is the third one you listed then, because the 2 are important.
Taylor Rot.
Yeah.
I'll just in the sake of fairness, Talor Ront is a human. He's deceased.
Cool.
Cade is a human. He is deceased. Dranat Shamari is a half elf. He is deceased. Heptor and Keltier is deceased, and the rest are all alive, I believe.
Well, I meant like in this frozen time period or whatnot.
Oh yes.
The only one who would be missing that could be that red cloak is the third person.
Yes. Or
one of the 21 other people that died.
Well,
That's true.
they don't have a name, so I did not save them in
hard on
memory.
this one.
I did not save them when I was studying my books. Okay, my doctor's notes.
I mean, just because
they did
Chris
not
didn't
pop
tell
up.
us a name of one of the 21 dead people doesn't mean
Yeah.
that that's not who
Question-
Arlie is grieving.
Question that we would or should know, I think. Woody is
not present.
familiar,
Yes.
so he should be here theoretically.
yes.
Okay,
Well,
interesting.
yeah.
Oh shit! Was
Oh?
this her old familiar that died and then she got Woody?
Oh, that would be
Is
good.
that it?
So I'm gonna say you've said it kind of asynchronously. So I'm just gonna like give it to you. I'll say that at some point during you guys discussing and talking and going back and forth through this conversation you're having, while stuff was frozen, suddenly stuff starts to move again, just a little bit.
Okay.
And Heptor and Keltier, who's standing behind you all, is the first to move, and he takes a few steps towards Arelaa, like literally passing straight through you as if you're not there, limping heavily as he reaches up to a clasp on his armor, releasing it and letting like the heavy plate body fall to the ground. And he places a hand on her shoulder, fangs long as the sun like shines through the cloud, and he winces a little bit. We will find him. He speaks softly before dark bat-like wings sprout out from his back. His hands turn a little more claw-like, and he flaps off into the shattered city below. And behind you, Cade and Marin stir, and as they begin to step towards the edge of the cliff, everything once again slows to a halt.
So they're looking over this cliff of the giant chasm that was made by this Giga arrow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's basically rubble. Like there's nothing like discernible there. It's like
Somebody cast a big Kamehameha is what it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the final flash happened.
Yeah, okay. Goose, would you happen to know anything about who he might have been referring to that they would find? Did Arelaa lose somebody in this fight?
I mean, that's,
I know she
that's
hated
kinda,
talking about it, but
Yeah, that's kind of the implication I got. Woody didn't really know too much about that either. He said even to her, even to him, Arelaa only ever talked about it ever so often. Fellas, I don't think they found him. And as Goose speaks that notion out, they don't find him. And in an instant, everything starts. You see it in like super fast motion. Arelaa rises to her feet, and it all goes so fast. You see flashes of so much stuff. Faces, some you recognize, some you don't. A ship, the open sea, the hearth, gravestones, lots of graves, and then just one, and then almost like you're being pulled backwards through doors and halls, through the guild, or what is now the guild, like what you know to be the guild, and then further along, across sea, across sand, and now you're somewhere else, high up above the clouds on a mountain. And Arelaa is here, but not alone. You recognize Raviom Ocelor, who was just in that previous memory, and both he and Arelaa look a bit older, more so Raviom than Arelaa. And anyone that would like to, perception and or investigation check.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Surely sure.
I'm never gonna turn down doing
that
one
is
of
a
those.
19
19?
perception. I have a +7 perception. I'm pretty good at this.
So that's a big 7 for me. So
18 perception.
I nat 1 at investigation.
nice.
Hell yeah!
That actually thematically works very well. Ash, you are very distracted by what is going on above your head.
Yeah,
but
that
not
sounds
innocent.
about right.
No.
Wynn and Junver. Raviom and Arelaa both now wear the symbol of the guild, that crystal shape with an arrow piercing the top down to the center. Arelaa wears hers on her gauntlet, which Ash and Chiron could confirm from their memory with her, or when she was in the field, that is the case. While Raviom's hangs like a charm on his staff. But there's a third person here, masked and also holding a staff, and he holds it aloft, and light pours from it into
Oh,
the
it's
night
Chiron.
sky.
The only person who can wear masks in this universe.
Legally
course.
speaking. This guy's about to catch a cease and
They're
desist.
stealing my style. What the hell?
Glyphs and like lines of light dance out from the staff, forming a complex arcane shape in the sky with like lines and stars shimmering along it. And you hear Raviom speak. It's miraculous. And you say, how many? And the masked man speaks, but you don't understand the language. When can I have a history check?
Of course. I'm not good at history. That's a 6.
You have heard this language before on the sea, but you are unable to place it.
Right.
You're certain that it is a foreign language, and in general, foreign languages and accents are very rare, as the sea is not really crossable by, well, unless you're like really trying hard.
Are these people speaking by chance Celestial?
No.
Okay.
And
Is it a language that like,
Chiron, huh?
I was just curious. I you know, I heard some bots
pretty cool
back
if
in
it
the day. Yeah.
is it a language that like I or any of us could like make out words or notions in? Or
none of you speak this language.
I'm mad
None of
because
us
I
speak-
almost
yeah.
took the spell for that and I didn't.
Raviom continues responding to the sentence you couldn't understand. 5 more? That's amazing. Well, that's near preposterous, but sorry, what did you say became of the rest of them? And Arelaa interjects, taking a step and physically placing herself between the two talking men. Who cares what happened to them, Raviom? You said more could be made. How? How do we do it? And then she turns, facing the other man, getting like intensely close to him. Tell me how we make another. And with that, everything settles and turns quiet, and it's frozen yet again. And you're here, atop this mountain, somewhere.
Can I go up to them and just start mimicking their poses? Because I want to see if I can. Chiron's gonna mimic their poses, even if they're not like tangible or whatever. Just start like, I see, yes. Just trying to like gauge. That's how he's gonna try to like analyze the situation. It's
Oh,
not
you're
really
doing
that
like
much, yeah.
You're doing like the detective vision shit?
Yeah,
Batman?
yeah,
Okay,
yeah. I have to like mimic their poses for me to like figure
Okay.
out the hell's going on.
I actually like this. Give me an investigation check.
Okay, that is a 17.
No, not bad.
Ooh.
So I'll be like Arelaa, I'll be like, and then I'll be quick, like half a second to like dip down.
So here's what you were able to glean from that investigation, is that they must have just gotten here. Like the area isn't disturbed at all. There's no like knapsack sitting on the floor and shit. And there is a small like trodden path that they presumably just came up. And the guy who is like gesturing up and basically making this star-shaped thing in the sky is there. Everyone's looking to him. He's clearly the one that is showing and not telling here.
Okay.
Why is the ground tactile and the people are not? How am I supposed to study? I like look at my syringes like menacingly. I'm like, damn it.
Chris, is there, I guess, 2 questions. One, would we recognize this location as possibly stay, like a part of stay? Or is it just like a general wilderness mountaintop kind of thing?
I'm not going to make you roll for that. The landscape is vastly different from
Okay,
Stay.
that's all I wanted to know. And
Stay is like a, foresty town. This is a rocky ass mountain. And yeah, fuck it, sure. From in the distance, you can see that there is desert or sand.
okay,
So is this anywhere any of us would recognize otherwise?
None of you recognize this location.
Is
Not
this the sandy beaches of Cabo?
No, this is Destiny Island from the hit video game Kingdom Hearts.
Oh, of course.
Simple and clean is the
Chris, we're gonna get copyright strike.
They can't stop me.
Hikaru
So-
Tana's gonna kick our asses.
So she's looking for her bloom, right?
That's what it seems to me.
My only question is, well, I have many questions. The question I actually want to ask is like, she said or the guy who talks in a language none of us others understand said there were like 5 others.
Like, I'll if you guys want to hear the dialogue again, I'm going to say it line again. I'll repeat it. That's not like you had to memorize that.
No.
He said something. He said something to Raviome, and Raviome said, there's 5 more. That's amazing.
Yeah, and so my question is like, are there 5? Were they hearths?
Are there 5 of a thing nearby?
No. Like, are there 5 hearths, or are there like 5? I don't know, like seeds to make one.
Yeah.
And like, because they're looking up at the sky and shit. Like, are some of these in space?
Can I get a Arcana check from Junver?
I mean, you can. It's probably gonna be bad. It's 15. That's about as good as I'm gonna get. With a -1.
The thing this guy is like displaying in the sky, you don't fully understand what it is. It's like, lines and dots in like a big circle. It doesn't really make any coherent sense. But there are other smaller figures within the shape that he is like painting, basically. And you recognize those as runes. It is some kind of runic language, not the one you speak. There are several different kinds of runic languages that a rune person can use to inscribe them on their weapons or whatever the fuck. This isn't the one you use. In fact, it looks similar in style, but it's wrong. Like lines aren't where they're supposed to be and stuff like that. You can, or at least you're somewhat confident to believe that some of the markings on this, particularly on the outer rim of them, are cardinal directions.
Ooh, okay. So we know where Kinmar was. We know where Rontmar is.
Mm-hmm.
You know where Stay?
We know where Stay is.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance we can like connect the dots on there with
We
what he's
make it a
bringing
giant
up?
transmutation circle.
Well, I
Stone.
don't necessarily mean like transmutation circle, but maybe it's not. There's 5 crystal. Maybe there's these fucking ley lines type of things, or centers of power, or something like that. Like,
Yeah, Chris, is this thing stable enough where someone could take an accurate recreation of it in a notebook?
So, go ahead, roll me a Would that be performance to draw? What would drawing be?
I think it would be intelligence to remember it too.
Give me a d20 plus your int modifier. I'll take that.
Okay.
Oh, sleight of hand's gone. Rip. Oh no, sorry, forgery's gone. Rip.
Yeah. So Ash brings up a good point, which is this thing stable enough? Even though this memory is halted or whatever, the map, damn it, fuck.
I mean, Chris, we knew.
That's fine. I just didn't want to say it. The star-shaped thing is still rotating and turning.
Is this also something that I would have seen as like a constellation today?
Can I get a joint Arcana check from Ash and Wynn?
I got an 18 on the investigation thing, by the way.
You draw a very good recreation of this, and you also note that it was rotating while you were looking at it.
And then the
investigation, right?
Arcana.
The Arcana I got a 21 on.
Woo! Yeah, Wynn does not need to get very high.
That is a 12.
You're fine. How would I say this? Ash, you note that while there are like connecting lines, and you guys have made the assumption here, this is a map of some variety. It doesn't look like a regular physical map. And Wynn, you know exactly what kind of map this is. This is a star map.
Of course it's a star map.
For a sky that has no stars in it.
Fuck.
Wynn, as you say, of course it's a star map. Things begin again, and that masked man speaks once more. And he speaks, and then there is a pause. And then Arelaa quickly turns and begins to walk down that path that Chiron noted earlier. Come on, Rav, no time to waste.
Yeah,
And
when they move, I'm miming their stuff. I'm basically like following their
So you would note that like whatever he said, the masked man, the second she heard it, she turned and was gone.
Okay.
Chris,
yep.
I have a question. Mostly just am I remembering this correctly? Was it not the case that when like people or certain people died, like stars started to come back? Was that a thing?
When the heroes died, they now a star appears in the sky now.
Okay.
Someone who's smarter than Junver, please do something with that.
Did the previous when they were getting rid of the previous like layout, what we had with those heroes, and they were getting rid of the god essentially like that, was there stars in the sky there?
So it was daytime then. It was the first day in like several years. However, I will say that that's common enough knowledge that like if you look at the sky now, there should only, if it was only the ones who lived, it would be like there'd be like 3 fucking stars in the sky, right? There are about like 20 something stars in the sky because the ones who died in the battle counted effectively.
Sorry, the night sky in this universe only has like 20 stars.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool.
So navigating is very difficult, which is why the sea is very dangerous. That addition to there's monsters in it, but also that's also why Navamages like Wynn are required basically if you want to sail, because otherwise you are not going to fucking get anywhere.
And tell me if no, because we just kind of already rolled on figuring out who this mystery person is. Could I make like a history check to see if there's anything on his personage or even the mask of like what kind of region that would be?
You gotta, I'll let you roll. It's gonna have to be good though.
Yeah, no, I get that. That's a 19?
That's Mascus, dude.
19. Yeah, okay.
Again, if you don't want to give me this because it ruins shit, I get it.
No.
You just want to say that like Alistair wouldn't know this, but like
Alistair might know this. So I'll actually, you're a rich kid. You might know this. So that the mask you do recognize, sort of. Okay. It's foreign in note, as like even when noted, hey, it's a foreign language. The mask is, you believe, Ekron, like from the continent of Ekron, which is across the sea. And you've seen it sold at like shops that like we sell exotic things from across the world. But you don't know like what the significance of it is.
That's fair. Okay, hey, I'll take that.
And this guy's intangible.
Yeah, same thing. Everyone, I'll assume you tried it, like because you're running around and like getting
I would steal his fucking mask.
Yeah, and like you can do that. By the way. Like, you can use them to like line. Oh, you want to steal a mask?
Yeah.
Just add this to my collection.
That can be your quest to get one of those next time we're in.
Wait, Chiron, roll d20 for me.
Oh, God. I got a 6.
You want that fucking mask so goddamn bad.
So you said as soon as the masked man said whatever, he responded to her question of there are 5 more. She turned and left.
Yes, and like that's where like she said, then called to Raviom, basically saying no time to waste. And now Raviom calls out to her. She's walking away. Arelaa, where are you going? We must keep going. We can't stop now. Think of how close we are. And Arelaa stops, foot grinding into the dirt and stone path. We aren't close, Raviom. This is the first time we've actually gotten some good news, and you want to keep digging through sand, praying someone left a map that doesn't even exist anymore. Even if we find it, what fucking stars are going to guide us? And she like throws her hands up and points to the night sky. I am going to look for this stone, and you are more than welcome to join me, or you can walk through the sand sea alone. And as Arelaa turns her back on Raviom, it all stops.
Do we know where the sand sea is in this world?
Ah, damn it! That would give it to you. The sand sea is in Ekron.
Okay,
it is.
Cool.
So getting to Ekron is a gigantic pain in the ass. You have to sail across a very dangerous sea for weeks at a time. Then when you get there, there is at best a very small port, and then an uncrossable desert, and on the other side of that is the Ekron civilization.
Hey, if I just pull up the big map really quick, is that on the top of it? Or...
Yes, the top left corner of the big. Oh yeah, you can't even see it here.
Yep, it's cut off.
That's how far away it is.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Jeez, Pete, we're not going to the sand sea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and like the Ekron cities, which aren't said to be quite large, are on the opposite side of the desert, though. So like you don't, as far as you know, not a living Destinian has seen the cities of Ekron.
Okay.
They got trees there?
Okay, I'm gonna reach into my.
They got games on their phone. So everything's frozen again.
Okay. Okay. So they said that short exchange, and now she continues to walk off, and Ravioli is still sitting there.
She told Ravioli Formioli, like, you can either join me or you can walk through the sand sea alone.
Ravioli doesn't look like he's buying it.
Do you say that as Alistair?
Ravioli probably.
Sure. You know what? Yeah. Ravioli doesn't seem like he's. I know his real name. Sorry, what is his real name?
I don't think his name is
Raviom. R-A-V-I-O.
Just
Alistair
because he's
wouldn't say a joke for his name.
Just because he's hungry, yeah.
Good.
Raviom and Arelaa seem to have a little bit of a split over whatever their course of actions were here.
Once again, very similar to how when Goose Everson spoke the last time, and then everything changed, it all begins to move again. And you see those same flashes and bolts of things changing. Sand, sea, sails of a ship, across land, across cities. And then you see fucking everywhere. Plains, snowy mountains, rivers,
Trains,
lakes, automobiles. You gotta get home in time for Christmas. And you see
It's Thanksgiving, you Thanksgiving, you charlatan. Fuck!
Do we happen to see everything, perhaps everywhere, maybe all at once?
That was actually the joke written in here, but we got to a planes, trains, and automobiles
I'm proud of us.
which, by the way, wouldn't have guessed in a million years that's where we were gonna go.
No.
It's an incredible movie.
It's good.
And you see other people in these like flashes of moments. You see Marin and Hepturn, Emil Dull, Cade, glimpses of them as you watch moments basically fly by you, tearing through like cultist hideouts, fighting back spawns of the Sky Eater and other monsters. You see Arelaa digging through a chest in some dark dungeon, and this goes on and on and on, fighting, moving, searching, high and low. Junver and Wynn can I have perception checks on both of you.
Of course.
I'm gonna roll like a
Yeah,
wisdom saving
yeah.
throw because this is fucking awful. Like honestly, like my guy would be fucking not happy here.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
13 for
22,
me.
Jesus God, I got a 13 on my wisdom saving throw. I don't know what I'm fucking rolling against, but I feel like I'd be fucking like you see everything.
Are you
And you're like in a
just like
dream
motion
state.
sick?
It's
Yeah.
so
It's not motion sick. It's like literally like
Yeah.
I think I'm like fucking dead. Like this is awful.
While watching through this, Chiron, you lose the plot basically. Like
Yeah.
you kind of like are like so overwhelmed by it that you don't fully compartmentalize anything that you're seeing. What was the roll from Junver?
13.
That's good enough. One of the places you see whip by super fast, you recognize very well. It's Greytaunt, which is the mountain home of the Storm Giant clans.
Okay.
And the Storm Giants don't have a notable relationship with the guild. Like, it's not like they're enemies or whatever, but like they didn't really ask for guild help even during like the worst of it.
Chiron goes up to Woody, hoists him up by his shirt.
You mean
I don't know where we are.
Goose?
Just Goose. Grabs him by like the shirt collar here. Like, whatever you're doing, get us out of here. I can't. This is.
Alistair,
This is.
sorry, you finish your line.
I can't. We cannot be dead. Like this has to be just some kind of dream. Just get us out of here. You know, Arelaa. Just stop. Whatever it is, you have to be the one who knows this.
I don't think this is his fault. I think we're in some sort of magical
knows
memory
Arelaa.
escape.
No, we can't be. No.
Magic is a wild thing, my guy. Let's. I understand this is a lot. It's a lot for us. Let's take a
work
breather, and I think this is going to give us the answers we're looking for.
As you guys are, I don't want to say arguing, but arguing. Eventually, as you're standing there, like talking, intensely to each other, you see Rontmar, and you see it change with bigger and bigger buildings, and almost like grinding to a halt. You find yourselves back in the office of the guild, and Goose speaks. What, fellas? I think we're getting closer, actually.
Is there like desk and stuff here?
So,
We're at the guild,
also, I
or
just want to know because Wynn did get a good perception check.
Sorry, yeah.
Wynn, you can't place individual locations because it just goes by too fucking fast.
Of course.
But from what you can tell in these flashes of like places, docks, ports, towns, plains, mountains, you can see. You've seen glimpses of these places too in your life, and they are all over the Empire. You're seeing places that are basically far and wide all over the Imperial continent.
Interesting.
But now you find yourselves.
She's been all over.
Yes. And now you find yourselves back here in the office of the guild. The room is laid out differently. The three desks are missing. That's probably the most notable thing. It's much more empty. And where Marin, Vessler, and Darmay should be, instead, there are 6 people here. Marin and Arelaa and Forest Woody are the ones you noticed first. The ones you're most familiar with.
Okay.
Or at least, you know them. And then you noticed Cade, who looks older. Hepturn Keltier is here, and TL of Kinmar. And they are shouting at one another. Or at least TL and Arelaa are.
I mean, I'm gonna run up to him and make a attack against him. Honestly,
Okay.
I'm gonna do like a flying punch or something like that at him.
Yeah,
Like,
roll me an attack.
I got a 20 to hit.
So like you basically swing through and you just fly through the.
After I do
shape
that,
of them.
I land, slide, and just start punching the ground or something like that in frustration. Like I'm just fucking losing it. I'm it's over for me, dude. I'm fucking done with this shit. I just keep hitting the ground until there's like crevices there.
Goose walks over. Hey.
I push him away.
Well, okay. Hey, look, buddy. I'm real sorry. I was supposed to be. I was supposed to be the person that saved Stay and all that shit, and then they had to go and drag y'all into this. And fella, I realize you don't want to hear this right now, but I'm I'm gonna get you out of this. I promise. That's
Okay,
a Goose Harrison guarantee.
As I'm like punching the ground, I go, not like this, not like this, and I will rip off my like mask, and it's like my bandaged fucking face. It's just like, I was like, oh, I can't take this anymore.
Hang on. I want to try something.
Yes, go ahead.
I'm going to put my shield up and put myself between Chiron and whatever he's hitting at the moment.
Oh, it's some Final Fantasy X shit. You know what I'm talking about?
I don't remember what you're talking about. It's been 2
Scene where
months since I played that game.
Tidus punches the fucking summon.
Nope, don't remember that.
I'd like to assume that Chiron is skilled enough, even though he's raged, to punch just like around him.
Well, are you
Genre.
punching around or are you punching the shield?
Oh, is he trying to block my shit?
Well, he's like giving you something to hit.
Yeah, I'm putting
Oh.
basically I am trying to act like a punching bag as I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm hitting the shit out of this thing.
Okay.
I'm denting it, fucking whatever. I don't know if I would dent it with my fist, but I'm punching
Probably
it.
not. Buckles are hard.
This is not a buckler.
This is
This is
your
my shield.
Your tower shield? Oh yeah, no chance.
Okay, so you're just wailing on it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Chiron. I
I'm
know it's
focused
hard. I know there's a lot going on, but you need to get a hold of yourself.
No,
You can hit. Listen, hit me as much as you want, as much rage and pain and whatever you need to get out. Whatever you need to get it out on my shield.
Chiron, roll a d20.
Okay. 17.
What's your attack modifier?
Plus 7. So that would be 20, 24.
It's gonna break Junver's AC.
No, that would hit me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give me a give me a damage roll against Junver.
Six now. Sorry.
Didn't think
expect-
we'd be rolling damage dice this episode.
No.
No.
Two.
I did not.
2 plus. Oh yeah. 2 plus. I think 4. So yeah. Okay.
6.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say over the course of this like kind of back and forth conversation you're having, you just keep wailing on it, and like the shield repeatedly slamming into Junver is like what is dealing that accumulated 6 damage over time.
Okay.
This is a risky move, but Alistair also puts his arm on the back of Chiron's shoulders. Says, hey,
I throw it off immediately. And my fist eventually are like a bloody red pulp, and then I go like to rebandage them over there after I'm done. I just go off my own, just like rebandage everything.
Okay.
all right.
Let's talk about these.
Yeah, Alistair shakes it off, but if he's calmed down enough, yes, I would like to focus on what is happening on this scene, because we're gonna get some clues here.
Yeah, I'm preparedness and just brooding in a corner for a short time.
Are
I'm
you
exhausted.
watching what's happening, Chiron, though, or are you like turning away from it?
I'm turning away from it. I'm just fucking exhausted, tired. I probably just like was punching straight for like however long, 2 or 3 minutes. So
Before
Time's
we get
fucked,
into
but yeah.
to the
yeah.
stuff that we all want to hear, I do walk over to Chiron. I pull out a shield, put it in his lap. I'm not waiting for him to pick it up. I'm just like, you need to hit something. Hit that. It won't break.
I half like grab the shield, wait for a second, like clench it, and then drag it closer to me. Yeah.
That's so good.
Aww.
I adore that. In the center of the room, there is the argument that is happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to say that they were arguing, but you didn't miss anything of like note during that, because that'd be shitty.
Also, I mean, I was paying attention to it the entire time, so
Right,
if
yeah.
anything they missed, I can relay it.
I would say the main thing is like they are... TL and Arelaa are very angry at each other over something, but they haven't said what that is.
Mm-hmm.
You hear TL speak. At what point have you wasted enough time? At what point are you going to get tired of this, Arelaa? There are people that need us. There is real danger out there, and every time we need each other, you've taken 2, 3, 4 of us on your hunt for a wild fucking pebble. And Arelaa steps closer to TL the half elf and elf now like nose to nose as Arelaa shouts back, "That's why I never asked for your help. We have a responsibility to the world to fix what we've broken." And Tielo interjects yet again, "We have responsibilities to people that still live in this world." Marin and Cade are standing alongside TL, while Hepturn is standing behind Arelaa, arms folded. And Marin physically grabs TL by the waist, pulling her back a step, and Cade moves into the space between them. "All right, okay. Shouting at one another isn't going to do anything but piss everyone off further. Arelaa, fuck. You know I hate this kind of thing. I want to say fuck it. I want to say let's keep digging. Let's turn the whole empire upside down and find your seed. But," and as he says that, you watch Arelaa's face drop, and everything grinds to a halt.
Mm-hmm. Even the music.
Even the music.
Oh, I thought that was intentional. Fuck.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay.
That was a track change.
Yeah.
Everything is frozen here again in the guild office.
Okay, well, we know why Arelaa went off to stay and left the academy at least.
She didn't have the seed yet, though.
No, but I do think she
She's
found
still-
something.
But I think they were looking for the seed.
Yeah.
Like, isn't that what we just saw?
I'm 99% sure, yes.
And the question is, did she find the seed and then go to stay, or is stay where she found the seed?
My other question is, did she find the real seed?
Right.
But if she found it, why are they all mad at each other?
Maybe she... And this
Well,
is
she
a
didn't.
vile
She definitely
theory.
didn't find it yet.
Maybe she made her own seed. And it
Yeah.
doesn't have the same properties that a natural one might provide.
And clearly, the conflict well, maybe not clearly, but the conflict we're seeing in front of us is simply several of the heroes were more focused on immediate matters of rebuilding the world post Sky Eater, while Arelaa was on a more personal quest,
Yeah,
it
she-
may seem.
She wanted a big Hail Mary answer to their problems instead of...
And there was
What the fuck is a Hail Mary?
You know, as I was saying that, Ash, I was like, I'm inventing a new word right now.
You don't know Hail Mary, the goddess of bad weather? She makes it hail.
Okay, that was really good.
there's something. It was Marin,
Go ahead.
right? Those talking.
That was.
Oh yeah, no.
TL.
Are you sure it wasn't a Hail Marin?
Nice. Ooh,
There's something TL said about focusing on the people who are still alive.
Yes.
Meaning that Arelaa is doing this not for us, not for any of the survivors, but perhaps for the people who died in the fight.
I think it was for one
For
person
her.
in particular.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Before y'all continue, the combination of what Ash, Alistair, and Wynn just said is enough to get the dream, the memory
to
going
move.
again. Yes, exactly. And like as you speak, Cade, like you see his mouth like start to move again, and like sound returns to everything. Arelaa, Raviom is gone. Emil is preoccupied. Talor is the Emperor now. Kassira has the Academy to watch over. Donat is practically fighting a war by himself. And the rest of us are stretched too thin as it is. He pauses, and it's Hepturn that speaks now, moving closer to the four as Arelaa looks to him as if like he's going to help. He is right, you know. They're all right. Arelaa, we all agree, then I'd like to think we still do. Your quest is... It's important, but we have Talor Shatterguard now. We have the Mages College learning what they can. Don't... Arelaa, I want you to understand where we're coming from. Think about yourself. Think about how damn good you are, how strong you are, your bond with nature. Think about every day you spend rooting through crypts and caves looking, and think how many people you could help with every one of those days. There are still spawn out there, still the cult, bandits, rogues, who knows what else. Think how many people We could help. We could save. He extends a hand to place it on Arlea's shoulder, and she shoves it away. What good is all that if we're living on borrowed time? We don't know that. I do know that. And for once in your lives, would you please listen to the only fucking druid any of you know? And the room freezes yet again.
Okay, so... it does seem to confirm that she is looking for this miraculous seed, whatever it might be, and... as you said, Ash, the rest of the heroes are more focused on the immediate and taking care of what they still have. I can't help but feel sorry for her, but...
Again, this comes down to what we were discussing with the Arelaa back in the courtyard area, is that Arelaa seems to believe that the remaining hearth will not be enough to sustain this world, and she seems to be alone in that opinion. And as I feel we can all put together with some certainty, this dream is her attempt to circumnavigate the issue of the crystal running out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But once again, this seems to have brought her in conflict with the other heroes who did not seem to trust her expertise on the topic.
I don't think the dream's her escaping the future of the hearth running out. She's trying to make a new one.
Oh, for sure.
Well, yeah, I mean, circumnavigate the outcome she believes that was going to happen is more what that was implying.
And so, just to confirm, Chris, we have not been led to believe that the hearth will run out as long as we maintain a sustainable magic usage in this world.
Yes, that's basically it. Yeah.
Okay.
So the way, pulling out of like the narrative for a second, the way this kind of thing that we're doing works is like, I assume you get it, but just to make sure, like when you say something, the next like bit plays, right?
Yes.
Yep.
We're finding trigger words to.
I believe, yes, exactly. Thank you. I believe that you guys actually know what the next trigger is. I just don't think you've said it out loud.
This is us playing Immortality. We just got to find the right clip.
Yeah, exactly. MEH, thank you for the follow.
Yeah. God damn it. I have like 7 of the names written down, but not Ravioli. What the fuck is Ravioli's name?
Raviome.
So Raviome is dead.
Wait, where is
he's dead?
Raviome?
They said he's gone, which
Yeah.
I assume to be dead, but
Last we saw him, he was
or he's going actually to that Zancy and has not returned.
Perhaps this is when Arelaa goes to stay.
I think you are 100% correct, Vin.
I'll give it to you off that. It's not the exact phrasing I'm looking for.
Also, Chris, didn't you say Woody was here?
Oh yeah, Woody was here. Yeah,
Woody is here. Has not said a word.
Okay, I mean, I'm assuming he's on. I mean,
is he posturing with Arelaa?
Yeah, is he just standing next to Arelaa, crawling on Arlea's shoulders?
Standing next to Arelaa. He is a squirrel. He's big for a squirrel, but he's still a squirrel.
Okay.
But he is he's standing on 2 feet, and he's got little squirrel hands.
So in the first memory, everything was slow except for Arelaa.
Yes.
Right. Arelaa was crying. In the one on the mountain was that the case, or was she frozen too?
She was frozen. The star thing wasn't.
Okay.
Right. What's not frozen here?
Everything is frozen here.
Damn it.
What about Woody?
Woody's frozen.
Okay.
What if I poke Woody?
Yeah, hand goes
Still
through.
incorporeal. Yeah.
Okay.
You have hit an interesting thing. Can I have a perception check from Junper?
Yeah. 18.
Outside the window of the guild office is the hearth. And here, even in the memory, the hearth shines and gives off that magic energy, just like it does in reality. And then when the world stops, it doesn't.
Okay.
Oh.
This is gonna be more memory than anything. In the first scene, was it Arelaa that was not stopped, or was it the cloth that she was holding?
It was Arelaa herself.
Because she was
Okay.
crying still.
Yeah. It's not something I would have thought of at the time, but like it seems like the big sources of magic in each scene are the ones that aren't completely stopped, right? So in the first scene, I'm like, well, maybe the cloth was a big source and she was just holding it. Because like the whole crystal shattered in the first scene was like frozen still. So like, why was Arelaa moving?
I was going to say it was whatever the focal point of the scene was, but if the outside is what's moving and not the inside here, then I don't know. My guess would be Arelaa was leaving, so that was what was coming up next, or...
Why is the hearth not frozen? Why is the hearth not frozen?
Alistair, when you say Arelaa was leaving, that's when it all starts.
Okay, thank God.
You actually said it earlier, but then y'all are doing a thing, so I want to let you keep going.
Okay.
And so the last thing Arelaa said was basically, "Why the fuck won't you listen to me?" And everyone looks to Cade now as if he's supposed to know what to say here, and he does speak. Arelaa, this meeting wasn't to argue or have a debate. It's to tell you, the guild cannot keep expending time and resources looking for the seed. And if you want to keep searching, I'm not trying to stop you. Shit, should I even find time? I'd like to help. And as Kate says that, you notice both TL and Marin like tense up and like look at him, and he backpedals. But from here on out, you are searching for it on your own. Your crystal seed is no longer a priority for the guild as a whole. Can I have an insight check from whoever wants to roll one?
Oh, that's a nat 20!
Ooh. I got a 11.
I got a 9.
I was muted, but I got a 10.
Only Alistair. Alistair, Arelaa is fighting back tears, as is Marin. Heptor and Keltier is looking at his feet and like trying not to engage. TL is pissed. Arlea's fists tighten and she swallows hard. Fine. Then the only thing I lose is people that doubt me. Marin starts. Arelaa, we don't have to. Fuck off, Marin. Don't pretend you don't agree with them. If I have to do it without you, I'll do it without you. And she reaches to her side and like pulls her shillelagh free. TL stirs at this, moving a bit closer. Can I have a perception check, Alistair?
Oh, shit.
And
I'm not
Yeah,
actually that good at this. Wow, that was a dirty 20. Holy shit, I only have a 1 in perception, so fuck me. 2 hot rolls.
in this moment, TL has pulled a bit of magic to her fingers in the shape of something sharp. And the room pauses, but not in memory, not like the way that it has been doing it. This is what actually happened. They all stop. They all look at each other and look to TL and then to Arelaa, and TL dissipates the magic from her hand and like goes to say something but doesn't. And Arelaa scoffs. Here, TL, you'd rather have a weapon than have me here anyway. And with that, she tosses her shillelagh to the floor and it lands with a thunk. Damn. And the last thing you hear is Marin calling out to Arelaa as Woody turns to follow her out of the room. And the room itself begins to fade away. One by one, the members of the guild disappearing. And then once again, we see places far and wide, swamps and fields, caves, ruins. And for a while, we see Kinmar again, rooting through rubble, battling off more Sky Eater spawn that seems to descend from the sky as Arelaa and Woody are looking through whatever they're looking through. And then for a while, we see nothing. It's just dark here in wherever we are. And you're all stood here in basically black nothingness with Arelaa and Woody with you, and Arelaa breathes shakily, nervously, and then she opens her eyes, and you are somewhere. It's dark, really dark. Those of you with dark vision, perception check.
How many of us have dark vision?
I do. 22.
Junver and no one else?
Me.
I do.
Oh, nice.
I got a 7.
Oh, wow.
I got a 7, so.
Oh, Pridge is an owlin, yeah. That
Yeah,
makes
dirty,
sense.
dirty 20.
Okay. Honestly, the best two people to do this. The walls, Ash and Junver, the walls of wherever we are is made of rock. Natural, like, cave stone. But it's been carefully carved and chiseled out with markings in the stone. And actually, both of you recognize these from, a check you did just minutes ago. But there is a runic language carved into the walls here. Very, very delicately, very small. And it's not a language either of you I know that runic language like this, but it is the same stuff that was on that star spinning map wheel thing that you saw in the sky on top of that mountain. But the main thing you notice, and all of you notice, is in Arelaa's hand, floating above her palm, is a tiny little crystal.
Yeah.
Is that it? You hear the voice of Woody call from behind Arelaa, and he's like barely illuminated in the glow of that tiny stone from her palm. I think no. I know it is. I was hoping there'd be another, but this, Woody, this is it. It looks like any other crystal, though. It does, and I wonder how many of them people thought were just that. But I can feel it, Woody. The stone, it's like it's connected to me, to you, to everything. To the world. It feels incredible. And somewhere behind them, there is a crashing sound, followed by the sounds of stones falling and smashing into the ground. And Woody looks behind before turning back to Arelaa. Okay, we gotta go. What now? What do we do with it? Woody asks, and Arelaa doesn't answer. She's like fixed on the stone. Hey, maybe we take it back home. Maybe Kasira can take a look at it, or, someone from the Mages College? And as he's like gesturing for them to leave, everything in the room stops, except the crystal in Arelaa's hand.
She didn't take it home. Did she even tell them?
I think...
Strong suspicion that she did not tell them based on the mission and them sending us.
Yeah.
I mean, also from the Marins that we know in our time, it kind of seems like that was the last major conversations they had. And something Marin at least regrets. So they took this stone to stay, and she did what she thought she had to.
When you say the word stay, it happens.
Yeah, okay.
Arelaa reaches into her bag and produces a bolt of like reddish cloth, and you notice it to be the same one she held at the battle at Kinmar. And she wraps it around the small crystal and tucks it into her bag, a smile on her face now. Let's go, Woody. She speaks, rising to her feet and walking back into the darkness of the cave. And following after her, Woody calls, "Go where?" And then you see where, to the surface, once again across the sea, through fields and across plains, and you see here. And you see Arelaa again, looking across a field of grain to what is nothing more than a few scattered buildings. And it's very calm here, and this Goose Eversun speaks again. This is Stay. That's the hill over, that's the mountain, and it's just Stay a long time ago, I think. And as Goose speaks, Arelaa moves, and it's like each step jolts you across the field, covering great distances, until you're all stood before the Wise Tree. And Arelaa rests her hand on it. It feels just like the stone, Woody. It's the same. It's connected somehow. You and I need to figure out how. And then time happens.
As time often does.
As it do, yeah, as it do.
Stay grows from a few scattered little cabins to more, to lodges, to homes. Grass grows and is cut back. You see trees go through the full life from saplings to tree to lumber, and the town begins to grow and look more similar to the stay you all went to. And you're inside now. Good?
To be clear, the stay in the present or the stay in the dream?
The real world stay.
Okay.
And you are all inside now, and Arelaa is sat across from someone. And it's someone we haven't met yet in the story, but every one of you knows this person, because sat across from Arelaa, hands wrapped around a teacup, is an Aasimar woman in very well-made clothing. That is Kasira the Witch, or Headmistress Kasira to all of you, head of the Adventurers Academy. And between the two of them, on the table, floats that crystal seed. Arelaa speaks. I haven't told another soul, Kasira. They think me mad, obsessed for spending so long on it, but I just can't figure it out. Please, I'm asking you as a friend. And the Aasimar woman sighs, extending a hand to tap against the face of the crystal seed, and it sort of spins in the air as a result. Arelaa, we really should bring this... Kasira, please, for me, just try. And if it doesn't, I'll bring it back to Rontmar. Every mage in the damn college can look at it. Just try. And with an unsure look, Kasira nods, and much like when Darmay dispelled that magical seal on the piece of paper you brought from Bright Harbor, Kasira extends her hand and begins to pull magic out and pour it into the seed. And she continues on and on and on. Ash, can I have a Arcana check?
Sure. 19.
As you have seen a lot of work with magical crystals, people trying to understand them more, trying to get how they work, including with that process be charging of crystals, putting magic into them. And you know that when you put too much magic into a crystal, it explodes, and it can be incredibly dangerous. She is putting a damn near comedic amount of magic energy out and into this crystal. Enough that would shatter pretty much any crystal you've ever seen, and way more than a regular person should even have in their body. And eventually, with a gasp, Kasira drops her hand, panting and using her other hand to even keep herself upright. Nothing. It's like... Sorry, I need a moment. And Arelaa rushes to her side, placing a hand on Kasira, and with a glow of green magic, Kasira's breathing seems to steady. Arelaa speaks, easy, breathe, take it slow. And after a minute or so, she here, let me get you something to drink. And she rises and collects the teapot and the cup, moving to the other side of the room. I'm sorry, Arelaa. I don't know how to. It's like something is blocking it, like it needs something else. It's... Arelaa, this is beyond us. Even the both of us, I fear. And Arelaa nods, looking away from the other woman, and she closes her eyes tightly. But Kasira's remain fixed on the seed, which still floats normally above the table like nothing happened to it. Let's bring it back, Together, we can let the mages study it, and Marin will be glad to see you. You know, she's either lonely there. Rontmar is a big place to be alone in. Arelaa nods again and reaches for something beside the teapot. And the room stops, yet the crystal seed still spins in the center of it all.
Well, it seems like this crystal loves just absorbing magic from other people.
Yes, a frankly unbelievable amount.
Would you say a comedic amount?
I personally don't find it funny, no.
You're right. Sorry, that was inappropriate of me.
She never...
Can I have an investigate... Chiron,
Yes.
are you sort of paying attention to this, or are you still trying to...
Are you doing... Hey, Chiron.
You doing okay?
Better? You doing okay?
No,
I mean, the answer to that is no.
I failed 3 wisdom saves in a row, dude. It's fucking over. I'm as fucking out of it as you can be.
Okay. I'll
I
say
would
if-
legitimately be like just like out of it completely.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure. Besides, just like just feign just giving up essentially at this rate.
Okay. Then I'm gonna say you don't roll the check of
Yeah.
cast.
Yeah. Sorry. I mean, I probably wouldn't honestly. Yeah. My guy's done. He's just fucking.
Sorry, the guildmaster. I keep wanting to say Cassandra,
Kassira.
and I know that's not her. Kassira, thank you. I keep wanting to say Cassandra, and I'm like,
One
I
of the
know
ones
that's not right. Does anyone else think it's really weird that Kassira didn't seem to have mentioned the seed
To anybody back at Rotmar?
to anyone in Rotmar? Yeah.
Yeah. Perhaps she was doing a favor for
Oh
a friend.
no, Chris! Oh no!
Oh no.
Oh no!
Or
That is a gesture.
like she didn't say anything to Marin or like anybody.
And again, obviously, she would have learned about this mission before it got down to Marin's level, right? Based on the bureaucracy of it all.
I mean, this seems like
A personal friend visit.
yeah, this seems like a personal friend visit.
So
yeah.
Marin and Kassira are, technically speaking, equal footing in the guild. They're both guild heads. There are 4 of them. But officially, like officially they're equal. Unofficially, Marin is the absolute top.
Okay.
Okay, so is it possible Kassira did not know about this mission before you were sent here?
Yes.
That possibility exists. Okay.
Yes, especially considering that you were sent here very quickly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we tell?
I think you guys have every right to be suspicious, but I just want to.
Anyone that would like to can roll an investigation check.
I was gonna say, in regards to what Jennifer was just saying, I'm very suspicious about whatever Arelaa was reaching for on the table.
I'll roll an investigation, sure.
It's a 15.
I only rolled a 9,
It's
so.
11.
With a 15, besides all of the tea-making accoutrement on the table over there, Arlea's hand is the closest to a small vial of purple liquid.
Yeah. Is it labeled memory potion?
It's not labeled at all, strangely enough.
Is it labeled forget the last 15 minutes?
It isn't a folded up skull. If you unfold it, it's actually a llama.
Yeah. Man. And I can't pick up this purple liquid, whatever the container it's in. It's all incorporeal. Okay. Hey, I'm gonna bring it over.
What?
I'm gonna bring it over to our resident
sorry,
doctor
what?
who is very dazed and say, "Okay, Chiron, I know you're having a moment right now. This is your expertise, and if we're gonna get through this, we need your help. Can you identify what this liquid is? I think it has something to do with solving this puzzle and saving our lives."
Chiron hesitantly grabs the vial. Let me do my own checks here.
Is that a medicine check you're rolling?
Yeah, and I'll syringe
Yes,
out of it and then like dab it like on my tongue a little bit just to try to get like a little
You
like
nasty
information.
boy,
on it.
what the fuck?
God.
So I because I like when Chiron does his medical bullshit. I think it's fun in this setting particularly. Yeah, I'll say like you run a taste test, a smell test. Maybe you got a little piece of paper and you dab it on there or something. You run some basic tests on this, and it's actually this is a relatively common concoction. The mixing of it is the weird part. It's poison. It is in fact a poison that attacks the brain. It is a brain rot poison. But it has been mixed in a way that is incredibly mild. Like so much so that it's like nearly diluted, and whatever effect it would have, if it would even have one, would be super isolated and maybe even short term. I'm not gonna fuck around. You would deduce this is a potion designed to make someone forget something that just happened.
Woo! Golden.
Yeah. Yeah.
So are Arelaa gonna roofie her? What the?
How much is left
Just
of
making
this?
her forget.
How much
much
is
is
like?
what?
How big is the vial worth? Like, is it like enough
this
to like?
big. It's like really small. That's another thing. It's like normally if you want to dose someone with this, you got to give them like a syringe full or whatever. But like this is a tiny itty bitty bit.
It's a forget me now.
Forget me now. That's good.
That's good, Elise.
I mean, I stole it from Arrested Development.
If I wasn't so
Uh-oh.
sure this
Yeah.
medicine would for sure kill me, which might be even the best thing for me. This thing is heavily destructive to the brain, and basically your frontal lobe goes patoot.
Okay, so, well, hey, folks. I think we are all on the same page here.
When Chiron says it, the world
Great.
moves.
Great.
And while Kasira is looking into the stone, Arelaa... So you have the vial, right?
Yeah.
But in the memory, Arelaa is doing the action of like picking it up and uncorking it and pouring it. And as she goes to pour it, the vial you're holding in your hand, the liquid empties out of.
That's cool.
Damn it! I was gonna keep it too.
And Arelaa empties the contents of the vial into Kasira's teacup and then tops the rest of it off with tea and returns to the table, setting it down. Yes, that sounds nice. Let's do that. That's in response to her saying, let's go back to Ronmar. But as everything begins to go yet again, it's not so fast this time. You see Kasira leave, you see Arelaa and Woody wave her off from the shore, and you see Arelaa and Woody return to the house. But we don't jump ahead this time. We don't go to another time, another place. We stay right here in the house. And Woody speaks. What the fuck are you thinking? Arelaa, it's been 200 fucking years. You've been chasing this for 200 years, and we tried. We really tried, really goddamn hard. But at some point, we have to let it go. Woody, let me work. I'm close. I'm certain of it now. I'm close to figuring this out. We just need more time and more. Will you fucking stop? Will you look at yourself? Will you look at what you're doing? Arelaa, you lied to Kasira and slipped her a fucking potion like you're some kind of assassin now. You're hiding things from me. You can't trust the few people you still have. What the fuck are we even doing here? Arelaa, put the fucking crystal down and talk to me. And she looks back at him. Woody, stop. This isn't important. Of course it's important. You're killing yourself over this fucking dream. Arelaa, let me help you. And Alistair, you notice that Arelaa turns, and she's looking at Woody the same way she looked at you in the manor. And in the exact same way, she speaks. Woody, I know what I'm doing! But while you didn't respond then, Woody does now, taking a step closer to her and extending his small hand towards the crystal seed that Arelaa is grasping. No, you don't, Arelaa. You haven't known what you've been doing since the shatter. You've just been chasing and burying yourself in this dream because you can't sit down and face the fact that Croft is dead and fixing the hearth won't bring him back.
Got the name.
Sorry, well, yeah, can you say that name again?
Croft. C-R-O-F-T.
Laura.
Like
Got it.
Laura.
Yeah. Just like Lara Croft would have done.
Do any of us recognize that name?
You do not.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Alistair, history check.
Oh, fuck. Okay. That's a 14.
You do not.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not one of the stars in the sky. Do they have names?
They do, but
Oh,
you don't recognize that name.
Okay.
interesting.
And not with a 14 to sure you should.
No,
And
that's
I'm going to
fair.
say nobody besides Alistair has a proficiency in history that is good enough to get that.
That's fair.
Yeah, that's fine.
And everything gets slow, really slow, but it doesn't stop. It keeps going. Arelaa's eyes widen and she reaches her hand out, and you watch as it wild shapes into that of some giant scaled beast with long hooked claws, and she reaches and swings and slashes Woody across the body, and it sends him soaring into the wall. And then his body drops to the floor with a thud. Arelaa gasps and her arm returns normal, and she releases the crystal from her hand, where it falls to the floor, bounces, and then hovers above the ground. And she rushes over to Woody, lifting his small frame from the ground. But as she moves him, there's no movement back from the mystic squirrel. And you hear her muttering, no, Woody, I'm sorry, hold on, I can fix it, I can heal you. But as she speaks, behind her, the crystal seed alights, humming with energy. And Arelaa turns to look at the stone, and that's when it all stops. Crystal seed still alight, with magic energy. And everything in the room stops except for the crystal.